Hi ladies, and welcome to week 3, which will discuss fraud, abuse, and ethics in healthcare. Let's take a look at our competencies for this week. So we are going to explore fraud and abuse within the healthcare industry and look at its impact on the economy and level of consumer care. So how does fraud and abuse, maybe physicians or facilities that are experiencing fraud and abuse, how does that affect the individual patient? We're going to identify 2 potential risks for fraud and abuse in healthcare, and we're going to look at their ethical implications. We're going to develop 2 strategies to prevent or minimize the occurrence of fraud and abuse. We're going to discuss the economic impact of fraud and abuse for the U.S. economy, and we're going to look at and explain the anti-kickback statutes and their ethical implications. We're going to talk about those anti-kickback statutes in our assignment for this week. So then we're going to take a look at our discussion question, which is to identify 2 risks for fraud and abuse in a healthcare facility of your choice. If you're working at a healthcare facility and you have a specific example that you'd like, you can do that. If you're not currently working at a healthcare facility, feel free to do some research on something. Explain why it would be easy to commit this fraud or abuse and what the ethical implications are. Are there ethical implications for the employees of the facility, for the patients that go to the facility? And what strategies would you implement if you were the manager or director of this facility to prevent or minimize this kind of occurrence from happening? So there are all kinds of different incidences of fraud and abuse that you can use. I say feel free and be creative. So our assignment is going to be, again, a 3-page paper using at least 3 scholarly, creditable outside resources. And I'm going to ask you to look at 3 of the most common fraud abuse issues in healthcare. Please do not use the same incidents that you used in your discussion. Let's kind of broaden out your learning and look at 3 different ones. So identify the impact this fraud and abuse could have on the healthcare facility, the consumer, and the overall cost of healthcare to the U.S. economy. While you're doing that, explore the anti-kickback statutes and discuss their ethical and economic implications as well. So realize that these incidences of fraud and abuse don't only impact that healthcare facility or an individual patient, but can impact the overall cost of healthcare, from medications to cost of hospitalizations, cost of long-term cares. So again, any questions that you have with that, let me know. And then here's just a little bit of information on the federal anti-kickback statute. You'll be able to find lots of information on the internet, but know that it's one of the best known federal fraud and abuse statutes. It is a criminal statute that prohibits transactions intended to induce or reward referrals for items or services reimbursed by the federal healthcare programs. So it's an anti-corruption statute at its heart. It's designed to guard against overutilization, increased costs, and poor quality services. So I will see you ladies online. Please don't hesitate to email me either through Canvas or through our BayPath email account. Bye.